we got a new one here. This is a 2008 Ski-Doo 600 HO SDI GSX, I believe. This, let me grab it for you. This bogey wheel flew off when we were riding across the lakes. They were only about 2 miles away from the, it came off of right there. They were only about 2 miles away, so they figured that they just limp it back. And on the way back, the track decided to let loose. Get it in here. Yeah, see a bunch of missing there. And in the process, it ended up popping one or both of the radiators. So what we're going to decide in this is going to be a two-part video, is we're going to figure out what's going on with the radiators, and then in the second video, we're going to replace the track. It's going to be kind of a long one and kind of an expensive one, so we're going to make it into 2 videos. You can already see it. You can't really see it there. There's already some, should be able to see some breaks up in there. I'm just hoping it's not the front radiator too that we replaced on the last one. I guess the first thing we should do is cut this track off. So when I cut the track off, I can remove the skid pretty easily. Now we can get up underneath there and see it, and see what damage there is. If it is just the top radiator or if it's both radiators, because that's kind of what we need to know right now. Next, I got to remove the 2 bolts that are 2 bolts from each side that are holding up the skid, so we'll work on those. That looks like a lot of damage, right? There's a hole. You can see it. Right there's a hole. So this one definitely has to be replaced. It's got a hole there. I want to climb up there, see the front bulkhead. It's got some rubbage, but I don't see any brakes on it. What I'm doing now is I'm going to take off the seat and gas tank so I can expose the radiator. I think the back light has to come off too. But I'll figure that all out, and then we'll go from there. So what I can tell now is there's all these rivets, and we're going to drill those out. Once again, I'll just do that in time lapse. Probably actually going to take those hoses off over there first with the auditors, and then try to take these out. So I can't really show you how I'm going to have to drill these. So I'm going to have to go underneath and drill it, because this is the top side of them. It's easier if you drill through the bottom side of these rivets because they don't have a centering hole on them. And yeah. So I'm just going to get underneath there, drill them out, and I'll bring you back when I'm done with that. This is the donor slide that I have, and I still got to pull this radiator off of this one. I was going to show you how I found it easiest to remove the rivets, because they're kind of a different rivet. Hopefully you can see this. So this is the rivet. If you're trying to drill through it, it's just a real pain in the ass. It seems like the easiest way to do it is you take a grinder, you just grind the head off of it. And in this one, I don't really care because I don't care about this steel that's here, the aluminum that's here. So I'm going to try to do my best to just grind them off, then you just pop them off. Seems to work a lot better. I'll show you 1 or 2, and then I'm just going to get back to work. Make sure you wear your safety glasses. The other sled didn't have these plastic protectors on it, which kind of made it a little bit easier. But yeah, basically just Do that, and then go on the other side and just pop it off with a flathead screwdriver. So I'm going to go through and do all these, and then when I'm done, I'll show you reinstalling it. So after you grind, you can see there's a little bit of a nub still protruding up there. I'm going to see if you can flip it over and get them to line up with where the holes were before. If not, I'm going to have to grind them all flat and re-drill them out. So we're going to figure it out. I also have to take off one side of these plastics because it makes it too wide to fit through the hole. So I think if I leave one side on, I should be able to fish it in there. Could be protruding up a little bit, but I think it'll work. And I got the ones that were top riveted before where I can lock it in from that. And then we can just, like I said, drill a little hole next to it. So I think that's what we're going to be doing. There are all the rivets. You can see I kind of put them right next to where the original ones were. The next thing I think you got to do is I got to put 2 more back here. I got to rebend that piece of steel back or aluminum back, and then connect up the 2 hoses with some clamps and. Push it. Okay, maybe not. Oh, sorry. I got away from myself there. There were originally only 2. I'm going to put a 3rd one in just to be sure. And the rivets that I used are aluminum rivets. They're 3/16, which is the hole size, and they're 1/4 inch long. I got 1/4 inch long because you're only going through 2 thin pieces of aluminum. So I want to make sure you use aluminum though, because you don't want to use steel because it'll rust and it'll corrode because it's 2 different metals being by each other. So aluminum with aluminum should be good. I don't have the reference audicers, so we're going to just try hose clamps first. If we have to go get audicers, I can. I think these should work though. Okay, so we're reassembling the sled so we can get it all tested up. It's a piece that holds the I already plugged in fuel pump and the did. We have these long bolts that we took out. We got to put across, and there's 4 bolts. 2 that go across and 2 that are short and come off the front. They're 10 millimeters, so like everything else in the world, it's not too hard to figure out. On this side, I believe it's the brake hose is inside. It's held up by one of the bolts. You gotta make sure you do that. This one's a lot easier because it doesn't have a hose clamp on it. These 2 bolts already got in. I got this one on the other side now. This one I'm just trying to work through. I can't get it to go through nicely, so I'm just gonna thread it through because it's kind of started in there, but it's kind of being a pain in the butt. Make sure you reconnect this breather hose up so that way the gas tank can breathe. So everything's loaded now, or reassembled now. And we're gonna top it off with antifreeze. But before I do that, I'm gonna lower this back end down to about normal height, which is about a bucket. Actually, might be a little low, which is even better because then it should help feed some more into here naturally without the pump. I got some of the ready to use 50-50. This is green. Don't really care what color it's supposed to be. I'm sure there's supposed to be a certain color, but there's nothing left in this thing anyhow, so we're going to fill it up with this. Since I'm colorblind, I couldn't tell you what color it's supposed to be anyhow. And that sucks, I just lost my cap. Started to fill up. We're also going to run it for a little while with the cap off to help it fill up. Got my comically large funnel here. I'll slowly start filling up. Last one we did on that other 08 that had the busted radiator took an entire gallon, so I'm going to guess this one's going to be about the same. Or, yeah, you can set the full line now, so I'm going to set this over here. Try to start it up. It should start. I think I got everything back together. The pump's working. So I let it run for a couple minutes. You shut it off and then it sucks it down. So I'm going to go through that a few more cycles, and then when I'm done, I'll start putting back the rest of the rear end. So we bled it a bunch of times. It's actually overfilled right now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it up to temperature, make sure everything's holding, because that way it'll actually build up temperature. And if I see any leaks, I'll bring them in for you. If not, there's really not going to be anything for you to see. So next procedure would be letting it get up to temperature. It did get hot enough to open the thermostat already, so now I wanted to build up pressure to make sure everything's good. Now we're going to get this back end looking normal again. Like I said, I built this for my kids a long time ago, and they're old now, so I'm going to take off this heavy duty bumper. I'm going to save it. If anybody out there would want it, let me know. You can have it. I still have the stock bumper, so next thing we're going to do is mount this snow flap back on there. And then this one had an extra piece of plastic. I think this is reinforcement, so we're going to use that too. So I got to clean up those plastic parts. And I know they're silver, they look a lot better if they're black, but I don't have any black ones. Okay, snow flaps mostly on. There's still two more up here that I have to do. They're 3/16, and then I got to put the side pieces on. Drilling out the 1/4 inch first. Last thing I gotta do is put the original bumper back on. So there we go, another one ready to ride for winter. I'm just joking. That's where we're gonna end the video for today because I need to get a track for this still. I did get the radiator all fixed up, replaced the snow flap, put everything back on, reassembled everything up front, so everything is good in that regard. We do have to disassemble the whole front end, the lower unit, to take the drive cogs out, so that'll be on the next video. That being said, hopefully everybody has a great Thanksgiving. It's coming up this next week. Thank you for watching these. With it being the holiday season, if you ever feel depressed or anything like that, try to reach out for help from somebody. It can be a lonely time for a lot of people, and we want to make sure that everybody makes it through. So with that, just remember you can reach out to anybody, hopefully somebody. May God bless you, and you have a great day.